Welcome to Credit Orientation, Steps to Credit 2023. In this orientation, it's designed to help you transition from non-credit to credit courses. Today, we're going to look at the enrollment checklist, tuition and free city, what we offer as a community college, and your units and GPAs, which stands for grade point average. Now, your enrollment checklist consists of making sure you have a credit application completed, financial aid paperwork done, attend the orientation, look at your math and your English ESL assessment placement determination in terms of what you would like to do, meet with the counselor and create an initial education plan, and then register for classes. And these things will all be explained in this presentation. Now, the first thing that you'll need to do is complete a credit application. And you can do this by going to our homepage or logging on to the link as displayed. You will get a welcome email confirmation after you submit your application. You will then be assigned a CCSF identification number as well as a RAM ID. Now, as you go from non-credit to credit, you will have expenses, and it's important that you understand financial aid. Any money from federal, state, or educational institutions and foundations that is awarded to eligible students to help meet their college expenses, like for your books, laptop, food, housing, and transportation. The amount of financial aid depends on students' financial circumstances, so you need to go to the links below to determine what you're eligible for. The next step is orientation, and it's an introduction to the essential programs, services, and information to better prepare you before your first semester at City College of San Francisco. The next thing that we'll cover will be your math and English placement test scores. If you want your math and English placement determined through a number of ways, you must go through either the online assessment form based off of your previous college coursework or ESL placement acquisition. All of these links to these particular areas will be provided to you after the presentation is concluded. Now let's look at the ESL flowchart. If you see on the top bar where it says placement into ESL reading and writing courses, you'll see at the end there ESL 188 English 1A. ESL 188 fulfills the graduation requirement for General Area E, which is humanities. Now we go to the middle area where it's listening, speaking, sequence courses. ESL 79 fulfills the graduation requirement for Area A, communication and analytical thinking. And the bottom bar allows you to look at the elective courses that we offer in the ESL area. Now let's transition over to our math courses. If you see here the transitional level math, we have Math 70, Liberal Arts for Math, Math 75, Mathematical Analysis for Business, Math 80, Probability and Statistics, Math 90, Pre-Calculus Algebra. Okay, these are all courses that are degree applicable, meaning that they apply to your degree, which will allow you the necessary course in math that you need to transfer to a San Francisco State or a University of San Francisco if that's what you would like to do. Now, your math and English will be discussed in your initial meeting with the counselor, where they will help you create an ed plan. Counselors may assist students with personal, academic, and career development. They also provide support services to students and make on-campus and off-campus referrals. Scheduling a counseling appointment or a drop-in session with counseling service can be found at the link below. And that's where you can obviously meet with the counselor to discuss all of the different things that you may be wanting to study or some of the issues that you may be having in this process. Now, once you have met with the counselor, it's time to register for class. Once you're done with the steps in the checklist, you'll be assigned a registration date and time. On or after that date, you can add classes for the upcoming semester in your MyRAM portal at ramid.ccsf.edu. Now let's look at the steps for actually logging on to your portal. Now, when we register for class, we have to go to the CCSF homepage and click on My CCSF. 2, click on My RAM portal under the quick links. New users, click on New to RAM ID and click on the instructions. 3, RAM ID username and ID number. 4, RAM ID password. Create your password by activating your RAM ID. Number 5, forgot your password, click on New to RAM ID, forgot password. Now let's look at what we offer. We offer associate degrees, AA degrees, AS degrees, and associate degrees to transfer. We offer certificates. Obviously, we offer opportunity for students to transfer to the four-year university, as well as personal knowledge and growth. City College has an array of programs that can serve an array of needs, and hopefully you can find the one that fits you. Now, when we continue to look at what we offer, the academic and career communities area, arts, media and entertainment, business management and entrepreneurship, communication and languages, education and child development, health and safety, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, social, cultural and social justice, and tools of different trades. All of these things, the degrees and the certificates, can be found at the link below. Now let's look at just an example of some of the things that come under the tools and the trades in terms of programs. So we have aircraft maintenance, automotive technology, computer aided design, construction technology, culinary arts, custodial training, electronics, environmental horticulture, manufacturing, MET, HVAC, plumbing, motorcycle technology, and vocational ESL for trades. And that's still under the non-credit certificate. It's important to note that we do offer credit as well as non-credit certificates. Now let me show what an example of a certificate looks like. An example, for the purpose of obviously this presentation, this is auto body repair and finishing. And you look at the courses here that are required. For the first semester, those are the required courses for this particular certificate. And then they ask you to choose 12 units from the remaining courses. Now, I will go into what the units represent in a couple more slides, but this is just an example of some of the classes that you would have to take for a certificate. Some certificates require more units. If you look over here all the way to the right, some require more units than others. Some may require only 6 units. Some require, as in this case, 18. Now let's look at the example of an associate degree and all the different elements that make up an associate degree. Remember, a certificate is a small version of an award that we offer, an educational award, and an associate's is a bigger version. If you look to the far right of the screen where it says CCSF associate's degree, minimum 60 degree units, as I said before, some certificates may only be 6 units, but a degree is a minimum of 60 units. You have to have your general education requirements, your major requirements, your electives, as well as any additional graduation requirements. And you'll be able to click on the link below after this presentation. And if you want to explore the different associate degrees that we offer, as well as look at the number of courses that you can take for each particular area. But as advised at the beginning, when you sit with the counselor, whether it be virtually or face-to-face, you will be able to sort out your education plan if you want an associate degree based off of the information on the screen. Now, when we look at the two and we compare them side by side, meaning the associate's degree and a certificate, the certificate is required courses, pass all letter graded certificates, applicable courses with a C or better, and you can take those classes pass, no pass. You must successfully complete at City College at least 20% of the units required to earn a certificate. You can't go and do classes at another institution and have them transferred in. 20% of them have to be done at City College. Now, when we look at the degree side, it's a required major courses, degree applicable GPA, which stands for your grade point average of a 2.0. It must be a C average. And you got to complete a minimum of 12 of the 60 applicable units at City College. A lot of people have classes transferred in, and that's great. But a minimum of 12 have to be done at City College. Then you have your general education graduation requirements, which includes your English and your math. And obviously, like I said before, 60 degree applicable units, meaning that we have to have the 60 degree applicable units in order for you to receive an AA or an AS degree. Now, I know this is a lot of information in this presentation. which is why it's available for you to review once this is concluded, because you have to figure out what's your plan. Time management is the biggest thing that you need to think about. Some people have children, some people work full time, so we've got to find a balance and we've got to explore all of the opportunities that are possible. When you meet with the counselor, they're going to help you build the foundation in terms of your general education as well as your major requirements, because a lot of these courses are in high demand. If you want to get an AA, an AS, an ADT degree, you have to meet with the counselor in order to map all of this out. Transferring is a big deal when it comes to assistance that you would need from a counselor. But if you also want to look at your personal interests and not really go into transferring, a counselor would be helpful in that area as well. We have to look at the counseling component and utilize it to your best advantage, as well as utilizing the catalog. Now, the catalog can be found at the City College homepage, which has a list of all of the classes that the institution offers. I would encourage you to look at the catalog, look at all the different classes that we have to offer, as well as the different majors, to help you explore and find what is right for you. Now let's look at some of the student services that we offer our students. We have a career center. We have disabled students programs and services, extended opportunity programs and services, student health center, student activity office, transfer center, as well as an office for the veterans. These are all services that you are encouraged to explore, particularly the career center, in terms of if you're looking for employment and if you're unsure of what is required in order to get a job from an educational standpoint. Now I want to switch over to one of the policies that is throughout the district, and that's our sexual harassment and or sexual assault. Sexual harassment occurs when unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or other verbal or physical contact of a sexual nature is made, either explicitly or implicitly as a term of condition of an individual's education status or employment, or is used as a bias for education or employment decisions affecting an individual. And this could be done by another student, a faculty member, staff member. City College of San Francisco takes sexual harassment and sexual assault very seriously. The district policy on sexual assault applies to all members of the campus community, which I said includes students, faculty, staff, administrators, visitors, and invitees of the college. Any sexual assault or physical abuse, including but not limited to rape, as defined by the California Penal Code, whether committed by an employee, student, or member of the public, occurring on district property or an off-campus site or facility maintained by the district, or on the grounds of facility maintained by a student organization, is a violation of district policy and state regulations and is subject to applicable punishment, including criminal prosecution and employee or student discipline procedures. If you want to learn more about the City College of San Francisco sexual harassment and or sexual assault policy, please click on the link below and you will find more information. Now I'd like to switch back to the educational component. As I said, units and GPA early, which is grade point average. One lecture unit, 1 hour of class per week. Most lecture courses are 3-unit courses, which means they meet for 3 hours a week. One lab unit, 2 to 3 hours of class per week. Lab studio units require 2 to 3 hours per week for 1 unit. Full-time students traditionally take 12 or more units, which can consist of 4 to 5 classes depending on the value of the unit. Part-time students take less than 12 units a semester. The maximum number of units allowed for each fall and spring semester is 18 units. So I can take 18 units in the fall and 18 units in the spring, but there are requirements that are made if you go over that amount. The maximum number of units allowed each summer is 9 units. However, traditionally students may take 3 to 6 units during the summer semester. Now that we've discussed what a unit is, let's look at what the GPA represents and how do we do that. For example, Your grade point average, if you get an A in a class, which is the symbol here on the left, you get an A in a class, you get grade points of 4. A B, grade points of 3. A C, grade points of 2. A D, grade point of 1. An F or an FW, you don't get any grade points for that. You need to have a high GPA in order to transfer to a 4-year institution. So, for example, if I got all A's in this semester and I took 4 classes, my GPA would be 4.0. If I got all B's, it would be 3.0, and so on and so forth. Understand that pass, no pass does not award grade point averages. Withdrawals and incomplete also do not award grade point averages. Now, it's important that you remember you must maintain a C average in order to get your degree and or transfer. If not, you will be placed on academic probation or possibly progress probation. Academic probation is when a student has attempted at least 12 units as shown on the official academic record. They will be placed on academic probation if the student has earned a grade point average below 2.0 in all units in which grades were given. Now, progress probation is when a student who has attempted at least 12 units as shown on the official academic record will be placed on progress probation when the percentage of the units in which the student has enrolled and for which the student has been given a W or an INC, which stands for incomplete. The W stands for withdraw, NP, no pass, is 50% more. Removal from probation. For removal from academic probation, a student must have an overall cumulative grade point average in all City College of San Francisco units of 2.0 or higher. For removal from progress probation, a student must have been given marks of W, INC, or NP in less than 50% of all of the City College units in which the student has enrolled. Now, all of this really says just pass your classes and everything will be fine. There are always circumstances where people have to withdraw from school, whether you have a baby or someone gets sick. Just make sure you communicate with your counselor when these things occur. Now, when we look at the tuition and the fees and how we're going to pay for college, tuition and fees vary according to student resident status. This could be a San Francisco resident, you could be a California resident, an out-of-state student, or an international student. San Francisco residents qualify for the Free City program depending on how long they have been a resident of San Francisco, which is different for the California resident as well as out-of-state and international. All of the fees vary depending on where you particularly rank on this scale. You can click on the button below for the free cities to see if you qualify. Now let's look at the keys to a successful student. Good grades, a C or better. Choose your classes wisely, and that really means see a counselor every semester for a progress check-in. And really enjoy learning. Enjoy the learning process. There's so many different associate degrees as well as certificates that City College of San Francisco offers that you should be able to find something that's the best fit for you. So now what do we do? Well, what's next is schedule a counseling appointment. You can book this online or request a counseling appointment from either of these two particular links, or you can call or send an email. Obviously, with the COVID pandemic still looming around us, we're still offering virtual services, which I encourage you to take advantage of. Don't wait until we're actually back face-to-face before you schedule a counseling appointment. And finally, I want to thank you for listening to this presentation and coming to City College of San Francisco for all your educational needs. Stand by, and a counselor will be available to answer any questions that you may have, or you can go back and look at this presentation when you have time. Thank you.